You are now listening to the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast featuring D'Angelo Williams and Gary Barnage. You push play and they'll push the limits.
Hey, it's your boy Thyme here, and we are back with another episode of the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast. Well, your boy Thyme's not quite back, and it is unbelievable the levels that these boys will stoop to avoid talking about them Carolina Panthers, boys. Listen, this is what happened. So the Panthers win on Thursday, and you know what? I'm like, all right, this is the Texans. We're not going to really talk that much junk. But then the Steelers lost on Sunday. The Packers, they needed a miracle to win, but it's okay. At least they won. But you know who is the NFC South champions right now? Them Carolina Panthers, boys. Well, I guess they ain't a chance, but they're in the first place. But you know what? This is how low they are willing to stoop. They scheduled special guests on a time when they knew that Tom couldn't be there, just to avoid talking to this boy about the Carolina Panthers. Can you? You know what? I'm done with it. I'm not even going to do it overtime today. All I'm going to say is be ready next week because Tom bringing the heat. Even though we might be taking an L to the Cowboys by the time I talk to you next week because we had a lot of injuries this week. But we'll see. We'll see. If we 4-0 coming to the next week podcast, y'all really going to have to do a podcast without me because y'all ain't going to be able to tell me nothing. Enjoy.
Okay, as you can see, we are back with the Cinnamon and Sugar, and again, back-to-back weeks without our host, Thyme. He just keeps blowing us off, D. Can you believe that?
I'm pretty sure nobody uses time as a season anyway.
I know.
So I mean, it's not like we're missing much. Yet we actually are missing him.
He tries to hold everything together, but he's just he's just not showing up. He's on vacation. He just doesn't respond to text messages. You know, that's typical Thyme. Never on time.
He did say the last time he was on, building supply without his labor is nothing more than building supply and junk. He brings the house. That's what he told us. I mean, hey.
But 2 weeks in a row, no big deal. I guess whatever.
Yeah.
If you're that big time, you can do it.
Yeah, we got to get to our guest, Gary.
Yeah, we got some guests on. So D, I'm gonna let you introduce everybody.
I think it's dope, pun intended. That we have the owners of McFly CBD. I don't Nathan Hall and Kramer. Welcome to the podcast.
And before y'all say anything, if you're wondering why it's called McFly, just get a picture of Marty McFly and Nate side by side. You're going to understand why it's called McFly.
Total coincidence.
Yes.
I've never even seen that movie. What some movie, something he was in?
Sure.
Never even seen it.
Yeah, I think it was Black to the Future.
And they're the same height as well.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Appreciate you.
So I guess we could dive into this because I mean, what is it that you guys do? I mean, tell our listeners out there because I told them this will be dope. This is a great opportunity for our audience to get a really good peek behind that potential curtain at the Wizard of Oz. Can y'all give us that?
Yeah. Well, you slid the word dope in there very, very creatively, I guess, but it's not as dope as it sounds. McFly CBD is obviously CBD, and it's the other side of the plant, D, not the dope side, if you will. But we produce from seed to shelf CBD. Produce the products that we sell from the bud itself to gummy bears. We have vape. We have D8 as well, which is more your speed, D'Angelo. It's not quite Delta 9 that some people like to partake in, but we have it as well in the vape form. We also have what's called infusions. It's like the Mio mix that you can put with your water and get your intake from flavored water. And then we have bath fizzies. It's our version of bath bombs where they're mixed with different essential oils to help soak it in while you're taking a hot bath and relaxing after a long day of work, which you haven't done since, I don't know, since you worked at Burger King back in Wynn, Arkansas, or wherever you did.
So what is CBD, bro? Like, I mean, so you mean to tell me that you guys are in the lab or have a lab, or I'm not really sure how that's producing. How is it not drugs? It looks like drugs. It smells like drugs. It acts like drugs, but you're telling me that it's not drugs? What is CBD? Let's make sure we bang that out. Get this out of the way. What
Yeah,
is CBD?
I might take that one. So CBD is another cannabinoid. There's 100 plus cannabinoids in a hemp plant. A hemp plant is what you get THC out of. So everyone just, if they saw a hemp plant, you see that leaf from a hemp plant, everybody just assumes that's marijuana. It's going to get you high. But that same plant can produce any of the other cannabinoids as one of its stronger features. So to qualify as a CBD plant, it has to be less than 0.3 THC. So what they've done is you pheno hunt to get the proper plant to the proper percentage of whatever it is you're trying to get. In our case, we wanted CBD. So there's strains and seeds you can buy everywhere. So what we did was we developed a genetic Bluff City CBD seed, and we grow our own plants. So when he says seed to shelf, he's not kidding. We're seed to shelf. So we've grown, CBD you can grow and hemp you can grow anywhere in the U.S. It was in the 2018 Farm Act, where the only thing that's illegal is THC Delta 9. So any of the CBDs are now legal. We can grow. So we grow those, and then we take that flower, and then we convert that flower by decarboxylating it, just like you would with marijuana, to make into a gummy or into an edible on that side too. So we really treat it the same way because it is the same plant. It just doesn't have the psychoactive properties of a THC.
Wait, I got a
Okay.
question then. I got a question. So
Yeah.
since it grows from seed to distribution or whatever, what is the time frame? Like how long does it take for it to grow and for y'all to do everything to get it to distribution? What's the time frame?
Yeah, so that plant and it's it's the same plant. So this would be the same whether it's a THC or a CBD plant, but it takes 2 months to veg. And so in the vegging process, we're not creating flower. It's not reaching for the sky. So you do 2 months of vegging, which you give it a certain amount of light to keep it in veg, and then we flip it to flower. And a flower for different strains can be a little different, but it's 56 to 64 days is the range of different seeds. So some are a little longer than others, and then all that factors into that is if we do it outdoor, which we have some outdoor, some greenhouse, and some indoor. And indoor is really what we use for our smokable bud, which some people like to, just roll it up, just like maybe they've done with marijuana, or maybe they haven't. And then we also take that flower and, like I said, create it into whatever we need. So 4 months is roughly what it would take.
Okay. So obviously, I mean, what's the biggest difference between CBD and THC? I mean, obviously, like you're saying marijuana, but hell, it all looked the same to me. Like,
That's
how can I tell the difference other than actually the psychosis effect that THC has? Like, what is the difference other than, like, can you just pick up a plant and say, oh, this is CBD, this is not THC? How can you tell the difference, if you can even tell a difference? And how can we spot that difference? And what is the difference, if there's any?
Yeah, they're visually no difference. I think now they have a test where they can drop it in a solution and see what color it turns to know if it's THC and CBD, and the they is the popo or whoever's going to look at it. But so anyway, we've got for our sake, we make sure that we take our flower and we make it into, and this is going to be another curveball, we make it into an isolate. And to make it into an isolate means, as I said before, that flower could have up to 0.3% THC in it, which means whatever you do with that, it's still going to have some traces of THC. So the real fear out there is is getting a product that is made from a tincture or from something else that doesn't say isolate on it. Because if you don't have it, if it's not isolated, which an isolate is basically, we're isolating it to the single molecule CBD. So we take every other cannabinoid out of it and then make it, it's just CBD, the only thing it can be. And then we make that into our gummies and into any of our edibles. So if you buy a McFly product, you're getting something that you could take 2,000 gummies and you're still going to be 0 THC. You're going to be 0 everything.
You'll be a
Except,
little sleepy.
well, you're gonna be sick. You're gonna be sick. You're gonna have a little tummy ache because there's some sugar. But you know, you ain't gonna go to jail and be sick. You won't be sick in your own bathroom. So that's what you got. Okay.
So what's the benefits of CBD? I mean, obviously THC comes with the psychedelic effects, but what do I get from this CBD that everybody seems to be jumping into? Because I've heard about it, obviously, but I don't know the health benefits because it sounds like you're taking out the fun part.
Yeah, that's I get that. I understand. So all the natural things that people, you know, that smoke marijuana and like it or take it, whatever, for medical purposes or whatever, what they're getting, all the other health benefits, the inflammation, the anxiety, a lot of those things, all those things come from other aspects. They come from what's still there, the CBD side of things. The only thing THC adds, the only thing it adds is the psychoactive properties. The hate to say it, but some people, maybe it doesn't work this way, but the paranoia, the hunger cravings, all of that stuff, that's what you're getting with the THC. So if you don't care that your mind's not getting altered and you want all the other effects, the CBD is the way to go.
Okay, so what's the how much CBD is in like a regular serving of regular marijuana? So if I'm just like, hey man, screw this CBD, I want the real shit. Give me that THC, load me up. Maybe I can get some residual health benefits from the CBD that's in a regular strand. Do they scale the CBD back that's in like regular marijuana and heighten the THC? Or is it kind of one of those things that you kind of get what you get? Because if you're able to isolate CBD, then they should be able to isolate THC, correct?
Yeah, but you wouldn't want fully THC anyway. When you actually are growing your strain, what you're looking for, and this is kind of getting into minutia of it a little bit, is you want your THC, and then you want you want to make sure that any of the other factors are not raising too much to take away from that. A plant that is fully THC would have to be synthetic, and nobody wants synthetic if you can get it natural from a plant. So you let the plant do, you know, what it needs to do. If you want to take the other pieces out, you would have to make them into isolate. That'd be the only way to have only one cannabinoid.
Okay. And now with that being said, I've heard of Delta 9. I've what the fuck is Delta 8? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, is it not, is it some other deltas? Like, is it a Delta 1 that get me to Delta 9? Or is this kind of like, what are we doing here? What's Delta 9, then what's Delta 8? And then you tell me the significance of both.
All right. That seems fair. So Delta A, and I won't get into how many bonds of carbon are in each because that would probably bore everybody to death. But what we'll talk about is the fact that the farm bill, when they decided to make something a Schedule 2 or whatever substance, all this stuff, they said that THC Delta 9 is illegal, which left the door open to Delta 8. There's also something out there, and we won't get into it because we don't have it, and so you don't go get it, is a Delta 10. But there's other deltas in the THC family that are out there. So Delta 8 is a legal product, just as legal as CBD, and it has psychoactive properties to it. So what people who have taken Delta 8, and we've done a taste test. We did the Pepsi Coke taste test with our D8 and some D9 because I have a couple of farms out west that are in legal states, so I'm able to do that. anyhow, a lot of people can't tell the difference between the two, and the people that can tell the difference, I don't know if they're just saying it or not, so Delta 8 is going to give you the high. If you want the health benefits and you want the high, because you do like the high, Delta 8 is your legal way to do that.
Okay. All right.
I got a question. So when it comes to CBD, because obviously the Delta 8, you're going to be similar to being high. So as in somebody who's never done marijuana, CBD, nothing, what would you say? What are they to expect if they do a McFly product or whatever? What can they expect to feel? What's it going to do to their body? Or, like, is it going to relieve them stress? You mentioned anxiety, but like if they've never done any of that, what do you expect? What can you tell them to expect?
Well, everybody that we've talked to, the best thing to do is figure out the dosage that works for you. That's for sure. Most of our stuff is about 20 milligrams per dose. Like our gummies are 20 milligrams each, something like that. So what we've suggested they do is take one before bed, go to sleep, let your body in rest, see if it helps you sleep, see what happens. Then try two. Then try, but don't do 8 and then assume 8's your number. And you're not going to hurt. You're not going to kill yourself or hurt yourself. You're just, it's an immune thing. It's a tolerance thing. I mean, if it takes you only one gummy to go to sleep, even though that's not going to help us sell gummies to you, take one gummy. I mean, that's the right thing to do. So unfortunately, you got to self-dose yourself to see what really fits. So other than, does it help me sleep? I'm an engineer side of this thing, so my head's moving in all kind of directions on the technical side. I have a Fitbit. That does that sleep monitor. And when I started doing CBD, I was getting scores in the 80s, in the high 80s. When I wasn't doing CBD on a regular basis before I go to bed, I was in the 60s, 70s. Now, sometimes I might have a couple libations that help me have a poor sleep. I get you on that one. But when I compare apples to apples on nights I wasn't boozing it, getting my, malt liquor freak on whatever it is, then I was good. So.
That's funny. So I know you're on the engineering side of things. So just real quick, I want to kind of transition out of that. So obviously, the NFL has somewhat not banned it, but banned it, kind of, sort of. The legalization of marijuana. I just want to hear your thoughts on it because obviously you have a company that, I mean, I don't know if you have a THC side, but if you did, what are your thoughts in terms of, I mean, obviously none of us was around during prohibition. You may have, Kramer. You kind of got that prohibition type look on your face.
Well, I'm glad that ear was aimed at the phone because I couldn't hear you real good, but I got it.
Wow.
When alcohol was coming into place, do you think that we're at that place right now, kind of in the world, or you think we kind of passed that? And because any old guy that you talk to, whether it's CBD or not, that's dope. Like, oh, you just messing with that dope. So, in your business, how do you walk in and coat and tie and have a discussion in 2021 about cannabis in any area, and people take you serious and not think that you own dope yourself?
Yeah, I'd say that to compare it to prohibition back in my day, I'd say that they had a lot of they didn't really have a let's get drunk for medical purposes, and then let's get drunk for fun. It was just, let's get drunk. So in this case, because we've come out and we definitely see the effects of it for medical cases, for some certain conditions that THC helps people who are suffering, then we see a way that we're helping them. Okay, so then you ask, okay, what is the effect of THC on the human brain, the body, the whatever? The craziest part is, just because somebody won't admit to you they smoked THC their entire life, because half that life it was illegal. People have been using marijuana for a lot of years, and you don't see them in a vegetation state, or you don't see any real negative effects. So I'd say that even though the sample study has not been something that's been taken, a handful of people, and I'm not pointing to you, D'Angelo, because I know you. I'm just saying, a few people that have probably smoked THC for a few years, and they're not killed over. So we know
Right.
it's not going to kill you. We know its effects even on long term. CBD's effects, we also know is the subtle way of getting all the other effects if you're not into the psychoactive side. What I would warrant people to do is there is no FDA. So McFly, we put isolate out because as an engineer, my risk assessment is high, and I don't want somebody losing their job because they took 35 gummies and they tested positive. So we're using isolate, and that's what we want to do. So FDA not checking everyone's stuff means the company could have on there 0 THC and stamp it on their box. I think Tommy Boy said it best, right? I could take a shit in a box and stamp it guaranteed. But
Yep.
anyway,
Good reference.
thank you.
Callahan Auto Parts, baby.
That's it. Yeah, send some shirts out there, buddy. But no, so that's it. I'd say that on the THC side, I'm not even going to try to argue with the people that are just against it. That it's a bridge drug. You're going to be on heroin next Tuesday if you do that today. So because you can't argue with some of those people. And in Prohibition, I bet you couldn't argue with them still, right? Don't we have counties in Tennessee that you can't even buy alcohol in? I mean, so it's still around, and we're still going to have it around for some people that don't believe in it. But that shouldn't stop other people from having the opportunity to use it on a regular basis without the fear that's the law going to come down on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's. I feel like drinking and smoking cigarettes are a lot more detrimental to your health than smoking cannabis of any form, THC or CBD. But apparently, there's healthier ways to ingest it. So eating it is a way. You said there's oils. So there's many ways that you can get this CBD absorbed in your body.
Well, and that led me to a question because I'm interested in the bath bomb. How does that work? Like, how does the
Yeah, that
bath
did
bomb
shit.
go into
It
your
sounds
body?
very
How does the
interesting.
CBD oil? How does that get into your body, or is it just in the water? And how's that whole thing work? I guess.
Go ahead, Nate. Get that.
Well, it absorbs through your pores, just like if you had essential oils or lotion or anything like that. We started off with bath bombs as the concept, but we actually went into we call them fizzies. I actually have a couple sitting here, but it's actually just the powder. And when we make them, we produce different scents, if you will, with different oils based on what you want to have, relaxing. We've got some that'll help clear your sinuses and so forth, but it's all mixed together in the sense. So when you're actually in the bath soaking, the essential oils, the peppermint, the rosemary, is the different ones we use doing their part. The CBD's in there, and each one is the equivalent of a bath bomb, but you can use it multiple times as opposed to just dropping one bomb in. And they've got about 200 milligrams of CBD in the jars, but you can use them accordingly. We do have some that we mix with lavender, and as far as helping you relax and pretty much get knocked out, I mean, it definitely does it. One conversation y'all just had, I myself have never partaken, if you will, but with my other jobs that I have, my brain just doesn't stop working. I take the gummy bears at night because it helps me wind down and sleep. And I equated it to that because Gary, we've been side by side. We're not too different in size.
Correct.
We're about the same size, but some people, even at my size, they take, they got to take 5 a lead, to make their headache go away. Some people take 2. It's like Scott said, you build up your own tolerance to figure out what dosage you need. The bath fizzies are pretty big because bath bombs are really popular, and most people are taking them for the essential oil benefits and what it does. The CBD, just the effects and the benefits you get from it medically added to those, it adds to it, helps with the inflammation and other stuff like that.
Nice. I think I'd be willing to try that. I've never done any of it.
The
I've
hell
never
you
done a
mean you
gummy.
willing to try that? You
Well,
do
because
realize
I've
we
never
just
done any
partnered
of
with
that
them.
stuff.
They fucking
Well,
their sponsors now. So you gonna get an opportunity to try that.
I know, but what I'm saying is I've never tried a gummy. I've never tried a CBD gummy. I've never tried any of it. Like, so I've never have. But I think for me, my first thing I think I would want to try would be but I've done bath bombs. So to me, that's just like a
Bro,
simple
how
thing.
fucking old are you, bro? Out of everything he said, the bath bomb is what
So
excites you?
I took an Epsom salt bath. My body needs it.
Bro, when was the last time you actually got in the tub and took a bath? In fact, you don't even have a bathtub in your master bathroom.
Yes, I do. You've washed
They're
your
not.
kids
Hey,
in
hold
it.
on, hold on. They're not called master anymore. I just want you to clarify that. Yeah,
My.
yeah.
You washed your kids took a bath in it. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I
Well,
I
the infusions, it's flavored water. I mean, those are good. If you, I've been seeing you kick back. I'm assuming that's not alcohol you're throwing
No,
back in your podcast, but you can mix that if you want. And again, the gummy bears. I've known D'Angelo for I don't know 15 plus years, and I've definitely driven him and some of our friends quite a bit, but being afraid, I wonder what it's going to do. I promise you, the only thing you might do is get extremely sleepy if you OD on it. Like, you're just going to be real relaxed.
so question. So is there a time when you don't do this? Like, do you don't do this when you go to work or something like that? Like in general, this is more something when you're at home relaxing type of thing, right? You're not doing this doing things or
Right. At home relaxing. The only time I have, like, if when it gets kind of cold, or when my joints are aching a little bit, because I wasn't quite at the prohibition. I was a few decades after it, but if I get anything like that, or headaches, and stuff like that, I mean, I'll take some, and it definitely, a lot of it you don't realize is muscle tension headaches, and so it helps relax and ease, and anxiety, stress. I'll have some stuff, but yeah, like I wouldn't crank some at work. Like, some people have a lot of water and they just constantly hit it. You'll get relaxed real quick and might not be able to work fully functioning.
and I think you come back to the dosing, right? I mean, I think that
Correct.
I know that some people that take one before they go to work because work is the most stressful part of their day. But I mean, again, like Nate said, I mean, you have to test it. You have to dose yourself. 20 milligrams is not going to put you under the table or put you in the bed. Try it. Try half of that if you need. If you're too scared, try it. But just see what works for you. And I mean, if the nighttime to sleep is your most important thing, so you're ready for the next day, then concentrate on that. Once you figure out your night's solid, then see if interjecting something in the morning works for you. But I mean, there is no perfect answer for anybody. They just got to figure it out for themselves.
Absolutely. So I'm obviously assuming that you for all the cannabis bills, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me clarify first. I've got a really well engineered grow and building in one spot. I need about 4 more of those before it goes legal. So then somebody big wants to buy me. So maybe a minute long, but that's
Ah, is it a lucrative business? I mean, let's just.
it's very lucrative. So right now you have to stay within the state, right? Because the state lines are a federal property and it's federally illegal. So you can't cross the line with what you grow. So in Oregon, I can't sell it outside of Oregon. Oregon did $1.2 billion in cannabis sales last year. So there's enough sales in that state for me to stay right there. But the real key to that is when the state lines open up, then the most lucrative growing climate in the U.S. is going to have most of our grow, right? The artichoke capital of the world is in Castroville, California. Well, ironically enough, in Salinas is the lettuce capital of the world. So California is going to end up with, they got a lot of very great sun and very good growing, climate. So when they can cross state lines, it's going to end up being a little bit more regional, and every state's not going to be the best place to have a grow unless you do indoor, which, as some people in this group might know, indoor cannabis is much more potent than an outdoor product or a greenhouse product. So.
Oh, okay.
So I got a question then, because this is just for anybody. So say you have gummies, because like I know my dog gets in the crap. Like, would this, like, if animals get into your food, candy, stuff like that? No, this is a real thing. My dog would get into it if he saw something and was able to get to it. Is there anything detrimental towards pets if they ate too much of or anything like that? Because that's something that people would want to know. I don't know. I would want to know because my dog gets into everything.
Gary, from here on out, run your questions through me, bro.
No, that's a legit question.
Well,
It's just like if other pets got a hold of it. It's interesting to know.
You embarrassing me in front of the fucking company, bro.
I tell you what. If that pet you're talking about is a flying pink elephant, you took too much. All right, that's it. All right, that's you. Stop. Put it down. That's all I got to say. So, no, and that's, it is, whatever, you should have run that by D'Angelo, but since you didn't, go ahead. We actually made some dog biscuits, and they sell pet food and pet snacks with CBD in it. So they and some people say it really helps their dog, when they get older and the dogs get inflammation and start getting arthritis, that it's a way to reduce the inflammation. And don't forget that CBD, THC, this is a plant. You're smoking a plant. You're not adding like a cigarette to nicotine. You're not adding everything to a tobacco leaf. You're taking plant matter and you're burning it. So that's why, as you said earlier, D'Angelo, that's why it's healthier. That's why you like a lot better than smoking a cigarette. So it's just as healthy for the dogs, and they can't overdose with CBD.
Okay. Last question, and then Gary, you got it. I'll let you have it. But the question
You
is
don't
this
like
right
my
here.
questions.
Yeah, you just make sure that they're not like about your fucking dog, okay?
Hey, my dog gets it. My dog eats freaking full zero bars because he gets into the cabinet. So I got to make sure.
Your dog has eaten way worse shit
I
than you'd
know.
ever
I'm
thought
making
of.
sure.
And CBD gummies should be the last thing that you need to worry about. He gonna have some super
maybe he needs
lubricated ACLs, okay?
some. Maybe he needs some. I don't know.
Hey, D'Angelo, don't let your kids go over to his house anymore. If his dog can get in the cabinet, your kids can get in the cabinet.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, but so my question is this, because there's been some studies, well, not there haven't been any studies that says smoking just in general, doesn't matter what you smoke, releases carcinogens and causes cancer and stuff like that. Is there any known cannabis causing cancer agents out there that you know of? Because that's everybody's thing. Like, oh my gosh, like whenever there's a new thing, as it relates to like vaping or something of that, as people that are on the podcast that are not familiar with marijuana on either side, its cousin or the big brother. What can you tell us as far as like, I mean, can it cause cancer? What are the harmful side effects other than eating and having munchies? From what I've heard, is that what it's called? I think
Yeah. So smoking. Smoking is definitely something that is respiratory. So it's going to have some effect. But I couldn't speak towards what the cancer causing parts could be of CBD, which is what we're talking about at this point, right? Not CHC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I do want to dispel one thing though, is the vaping. Vaping hit a crisis, right? Everybody gonna die. They're gonna get metal. You're gonna get metal in your lungs or whatever's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What was happening with people
Your
getting
left
sick?
ball fall off. Yeah.
That's right. So what happened with this is what stunted Nate's growth, I think. But anyway, go ahead. So it was what they were mixing with the natural product. So you're going to make a vape juice, I guess is what it's called, because it's not truly an oil. So it's kind of a vape juice. It's got a vegetable glycerin and a couple other things mixed with it. But they would want to put some flavor to make it something, make something special. I want to be unique. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So what they were putting in there, when it heated up, it was breaking off. And so it was creating particles. So that's the problem. So no, people aren't as scared of vape now because they've realized what it was, and people stopped doing it. Again, not controlled by the FDA. So you got to make sure you look at what's in there. I guarantee you this, we only use natural oils with our oil in anything we do. We don't put anything in there that's going to, we don't want to be the one-off, right? We want something that's proven, tested, because we don't want our customers to lose them certainly from getting sick. That would be the worst side.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming on this spot.
One last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
So if somebody was interested in buying some of McFly product, where can they go to get it?
McFlyCBD.com. We're all strictly online right now. So you can just go to McFly CBD online and get it, and then it'll be sent straight to your house.
Nate, what do we got right now available?
Right now we've got the vape, the CBD vape, Delta 8 vape, the fizzies, the infusions, which is the flavored water, gummy bears. That's pretty much it right now.
Yeah, bath bombs. I think you said that. I'm not sure, but and we also have Nate and I haven't actually. I was gonna give you the first sample of them. We actually have D8 gummies now too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Oh, hey, don't worry. The sponsor will be sending you some samples over there, guys. I can see you getting up. I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. I'll send you some samples if you put a tub in there behind you on the next podcast and take one of them fizzies.
Oh wow!
No,
Wear
you got to do that.
Hold on. You got to wear some drawers, man.
Yeah, you got to. That's all up Gary's after right there, man.
So
I own the tub.
That's a lie. I've been in your house. I've seen your tub. So my last question, and then we'll let y'all go. So what are y'all planning for the future? Y'all have anything else that y'all can share? Y'all got anything else coming down the road that y'all are working on that y'all can talk about, or no, not right now?
Yeah, we're always chasing the next great cannabinoid. You know, they've got CBN that they're talking about has actually been killing cancer cells in mice, and so as things progress, I mean, we're ready to go. I mean, we can grow a plant with CBN dominant or a CBZ, CBT. I mean, there's several other ones out there, but again, we're not getting off of our core, something that's not been proven. But if something comes along, yeah, we're going to stay with the trend. I mean, we're going to have it. We're going to have it first.
Nice. I like it.
So if you guys are looking for some good, clean bud.
As in CBD bud.
Yes, as in CBD bud. Go check out McFly's. I'm excited. I mean, this is new for me. So I'm excited. Can't wait to try some of the product. Can't wait for you guys to try some of the product. I'm gonna see if we can't talk to these guys and see if we can't get you a code for our listeners, that maybe we can get you a little something off, since you getting a little something off with this CBD. And with the little something off is a little THC. Again, thank you, McFly, for coming on. Is there anything you guys want to say to our listeners that, maybe, this is a...
No, I just, as much grief as you gave Gary, I'm confused on the little crib behind you. I don't know what happens when you're off air in the crib, but we appreciate the time.
No, see, when you see cribs and stuff in the background, it just reminds you that my pullout game week.
Maybe you were on the bud that you shouldn't have been on.
No, I'm pretty sure I was on the horse that day. Stallion.
Man, come on. We appreciate
Again,
it. Again,
I know your wife. I know that's a lie.
Are you trying to say my wife's not a stallion, Gary? Wow. That's what you just said.
You're calling yourself a stallion, and we
No. You just screwed yourself, bro. You just screwed yourself. Again, thanks for y'all for coming on. Can't wait to try some of the product, wear some of the clothes. I'm excited, Gary. What about you? You gonna try it, or you just gonna act like you try?
I said I would like to try the bath bomb thing for sure, or the fizzy, whatever it is. Obviously, I'm willing to try the little water thing too, since I've been drinking a lot of water. Yep, there is a fizzy right there.
Okay, well, I'm on board for all the above. I'm really not trying to test positive on anything, but I mean, again, I'm not playing ball or anything like that, so I think I'm fine in that area. Can't wait to try the product, guys. Again, If you're looking for some good, clean drugs, I can't say that. If you're looking for
Good
some
clean CBD.
good, clean fun, CBD, Delta 8, Delta 9, if you want to get freaky.
Not from Delta 9 from
That's
McFly,
also
sorry.
no, Delta 8 and Delta 9 got a little THC in it, though, right?
Delta
Didn't you say that?
9 is the legal stuff.
9's illegal.
You're
Delta
not
8.
listening. Delta 8's the
Delta.
legal.
Oh, Delta 8's legal. Okay. All right. Well, one of the Deltas, hell. I mean, hell, it's
You
like
got to be right though. One's illegal, one's not.
Hey, I'm in the words of the great Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. WAP, baby.
We appreciate it, guys.
We
I
out,
appreciate
guys.
you having you on.
Thanks, guys.
Oh man, that was fun, Gary. That was fun.
So that was good. That's interesting stuff. A lot of stuff I didn't know about CBD. I think it's very good info they gave. I'm actually interested in trying some of their product because I've never done any CBD, nothing like that. But I think the bath bomb really does have me intrigued for sure. I'm interested what Thyme would be. Obviously, he's not here, so hopefully we'll get his opinions on what he thinks of it. But I'm interested.
I think it's pretty cool, honestly, because back in the days everything was categorized. If it came across and it mimicked or looked or responded anything like cannabis, then it was considered dope or drugs, and not for medicinal purposes. It was just for recreational. But to see where we are in 2021, for it to be both medicinal and recreational, but have different ulterior
Purposes,
medical
really.
benefits, purposes. It's amazing that we've come this far and it doesn't have the extreme side effects that you will have from alcohol or you'd have from cigarettes. So I'm glad that we partner with this company. I'm upset that we couldn't have promoted it a little bit earlier, but we wanted to have them on first so people understand, like, hey, we're not promoting cannabis or drugs or anything like that, but we are promoting a healthier lifestyle, and that's what we stand behind.
Well, and the big thing is, if it's going to help with my body pains and aches and stuff like that, I'm all for it. Like, that's the thing, and it's legal, so there's no side effects. He said only thing is you're going to get tired, which is what it's supposed to do. So it's relaxing your body. So I'm interested to see about it.
Yeah. Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
I think that's it. I think we're gonna make this a little short one. Our glue holding us together is not here again, so we'll just make this a little short one, and we'll go ahead and end it right here.
All right.
You got anything to say?
No, that's it.
Little we out, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's the same energy level. Time is just gonna make it his own thing anyway. So
that's true.
We out.
Lord have mercy. Y'all boys can't even end the podcast right without Thyme in the building. Golly. Come on. We appreciate y'all tuning in to the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast. We'll be back next Monday. If you hadn't already unsubscribed after these past 2 weeks without Thyme on there, golly. We out!
You are now listening to the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast featuring D'Angelo Williams and Gary Barnage. You are now listening to the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast featuring D'Angelo Williams and Gary Barnage. You are now listening to